Now, on to today's topic and the main topic for the town hall, insights from AFCEA West. Let me hand the mic over to Susanna for an overview of the organization and the conference.
Thank you, Sophie. Okay, so let me start by introducing you to AFCEA. AFCEA, or the Armed Forces Communications and Electronics Association, was established in 1946 as a nonprofit organization serving the military, government, industry, and academia as a forum for advancing professional knowledge and relationships in the fields of communications, information technology, intelligence, and global security. There are over 30,000 members worldwide, including SMA. AFCEA's vision is to connect people, ideas, and solutions globally. Their mission is Knowledge Matters. The Western Conference is the premier sea services event and is co-sponsored by the U.S. Naval Institute. This year's theme is Our Acquisition and Readiness on Pace to Meet Global Security Demands. Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Lisa Franchetti delivered the keynote address, reaffirming that the U.S. Navy is the world's premier fighting force at sea. She thanked all of the Navy team of active and reservoir sailors and civilians who preserve the peace, respond in crisis, and win decisively. Admiral Franchetti reminded us that our sailors are standing watch around the world and around the clock, from seabed to space, in cyberspace, and in the information environment, to deter aggression, promote our nation's prosperity and security, and provide options to our nation's decision makers. I like what she had to say. From the Western Pacific to the Baltic and everything in between, our Navy delivers power for peace, but we are always postured and ready to fight and win. Admiral Franchetti shared information about the worldwide committee of more than 20 countries and gave a status of the activities ongoing throughout the world. Complete details of Admiral Franchetti's opening address are found on the AFCEA West website. Now, let's look at a couple of images from AFCEA. All right. Just a moment while we get our screen share ready. Okay, so we have our West 2024 banner. The first slide that I'd like to show you guys will actually be the CNO delivering the keynote address. And there she is. The next slide will also be the CNO. So wonderful keynote speech. The next slide I just kind of wanted to show you guys was the FedGov, which is what I mentioned earlier. Super exciting to see people live streaming from these events, just like we like to. And then the next slide is actually just some of the booths that we got to go around and see. It was such a wonderful day. A lot of great networking, as you'll hear later. And then the final slide that I wanted to go over with you guys is just something else, which was so amazing to see in person, something you don't see every day. And this is another photo from the booths. So now I'd like to hand the mic over to Sophie Kimball, who will give us a view of the Navy in the San Diego Harbor.
Thank you, Susanna. Let me start by giving you all a bit of background about the San Diego Naval Base. Naval Base San Diego is the second largest ship base of the United States Navy and is located in San Diego, California, just second to Norfolk, Virginia. Naval Base San Diego is the principal home port of the Pacific Fleet, consisting of over 50 ships. The base is composed of 13 piers stretched over 1,600 acres of land, plus the surrounding water. The total on-base population is over 24,000 military personnel and over 10,000 civilians. Naval Base San Diego is home port to approximately 54 ships currently, including 46 U.S. naval ships, 2 littoral combat ships, 2 U.S. Coast Guard cutters, and 8 ships of the Military Sealift Command, as well as research and auxiliary vessels. Tongue twister. Let's take a look at a couple of images from the Navy Harbor. As we go on to the next slide, we might be able to see some battleships lined up in a row. Oh. Wonderful view of the San Diego harbor. Oh, minor technical difficulties.
What is it like down there in San Diego?
San Diego is beautiful. They have great weather. Oh, just like you can see here in all of these photos. As I discussed earlier, these are the battleships all lined up in a row. This is when the harbor looks really busy. It was actually pretty busy on the day we visited AFCEA West. Here we have a guided missile destroyer with a beautiful view of downtown San Diego in the background. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Here we have an aircraft carrier cruising through the harbor. And finally, we have a stealth destroyer, which I guess are a little top secret, but it's a bunch of cool ships if you ever go down to visit San Diego. And that should give you a brief overview of the San Diego Navy. Visitors are always welcome. One of the most popular adventures out there is the tour of the USS Midway, the aircraft carrier right in the heart of downtown San Diego. And I visited it numerous times. I also recommend attending Fleet Week, held in November, where you can tour some of the ships, attend demonstrations, and meet and greet with sailors. Shout out to Chuck. Maybe we can all visit this year. Now let's head over to Pauline for her observations on the innovations at AFCEA.
Hi, everyone. Wasn't it great to hear from Susanna and Sophie? Now let's look at a couple of images that I thought were the highlights of my trip at AFCEA. So the first thing that I wanted to show was actually this T-Mobile emergency SATCOM vehicle. So this was newly unveiled this year. Let's see. And I'll just talk about what it could be used for. So I think it would be really helpful to enable communications in this kind of disaster environment. So that was really cool to see. And you can see here that Tanya and I are really excited about this vehicle. If we go over to the next slide, something that I was truly excited about was the Apple Vision Pro. And I got a chance to experience it here with one of Apple's partners, which was Built. So Built is a partner with Apple that is working on maintenance instructions for the military. And something interesting was that they actually got a chance to fly out to Apple's headquarters in Cupertino and learn directly from Apple's team to develop new technologies or new ways of designing for spatial computing. So it's really cool to see the application of these new technologies, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. Now let's take a look at some of the creative ways that booths were decorating their booths for AFCEA. So the first thing that I wanted to show was this actually huge astronaut that we saw at the Mercury booth. I believe this was their mascot, and it was a great photo opportunity for us. The second was this golf course that was fully interactive, and we did play a few rounds. I won one, but the others might not agree with me. And the next thing I wanted to show was the claw machine. So this was really cool and a really creative way to get people engaged. In the next picture, you'll be able to see that Tanya was able to win one of their stuffed dogs. And overall, I found this conference quite fascinating. It was intriguing to observe how our clients showcase themselves to our customers. The many different booth designs and giveaways used to draw attendees were particularly engaging, and the pink tote bags were quite a hit, as you can see in this photo here. Now, over to you, Patty.
Thank you, Pauline. I'm glad you enjoyed attending AFCEA. I go every year, and this is my 8th year. It's a great chance to meet with clients and get to know new companies. Now, let's look at a couple of images. We were able, to see our clients like SAIC and many others there. And Tidal with Bean was another client that I had a great opportunity to speak with. Business executive at Tidal with Bean. They actually acquired AT&T Government Solutions. We helped them win Space Operations Command, Intelligence and Cyber Defense Enterprise Services, or SPICES in short, and OPS3, which stands for Operations and Product Support Services. And I'll actually be meeting with him next in early March. So I was able to speak with Verizon as well and share it with them that we had actually supported them recently on some capture training. I also saw many other potential clients, which might create exciting opportunities for us. Next year, AFCEA West will be held on January 28 to 30. So plan to go. We will all be attending.